a moment. Okay, now it's recording. Okay, now differentiation, when I say students, how different is a digital platform when compared to the traditional platform? Okay, now when I say this digital platform, the very big difficulty in the digital platform is the customer can't touch your product and can't feel your product. That's the biggest problem in the digital platform. Okay, when you go to an outlet to buy any product, you can actually touch it, feel it, and only then you'll go for buying the product. Whereas in digital platform, you can't do it so. But still, marketer is not sitting quiet. He's building some of the other strategies so that he can capture the market, or else he can make sure that the customer is happy about whatever we are doing in the market. So that's the key point what we need to understand. So differentiation is based on the differences of quality, feature, style, and price, or can even be based on the image of the product or the mindset of the customer. Okay. So what are the strategies? What are the plans built by the marketer to how differently he can say that we are different from traditional market? How different we are from traditional market? So let's understand one by one. The first is making intangible to tangible. Okay, so this is something the marketer has tried his best way to make intangible into tangible. Just now I said in the online market we can't touch the product and we can't feel the product. Okay, we can't touch the product physically. But what he's doing is, say for example, when you go for taking a cell phone, or else take one more example, students, if you got a piece of paper, write it. Whenever in the online platform, we can come up with a 3D effects in the systems. Okay, if I'm building a construction, if I'm going for the house construction, okay, I can actually take the customer to this online platform itself, show him the 3D effect, how the foundation will be put for the building. He can actually see this, how the rooms will look in the future. The architect does all the designing part of it, and he show the customer how it actually looks. So this is something what you see in the digital platform. Though it's intangible, but the marketer is trying to make it tangible as much as possible. Now take an example of 3D effects, what or as 3D cinemas, what you watch. Okay, you will actually feel that the object is in front of your eyes. So this is something the marketer is trying his best way to get the digital platform and make it feel for the product. So that is one part what we talk about, making intangible to tangible. Okay, we virtual 3D images what are used in the market today. One. Okay, is that clear? The first point. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now the second is building trust. Okay, the marketer is trying to take the trust of the people. He is trying to build the trust of the customer. Okay, when you make online payment, okay, when you make offline payment, you'll actually see the cash you are giving it to the vendor, and the vendor is receiving your cash, and he's saying you have made the payment. But over here, if the transaction doesn't happen, if the transaction gets failed and your amount is deducted from the bank account, the marketer will immediately, the vendor will immediately send you a message. It will be reimbursed into your account within 7 days. So that is something you are getting a trust of the marketer, saying that yes, the payment whatever I make through online is safe. That is where Google Pay went wrong, students. Google Pay said we are not liable, or else we are not responsible for the failure of the payment. So this is where Google Pay lost its market in the market. Yesterday Srini is asking this doubt, so I thought of adding this point today. So this is something building a trust. Say for example, PhonePe will reverse your amount within seven working days. Even Paytm does this. So this is something they have built a trust in the market. Then efficiency and timely processing. Okay, whenever you order a product, the vendor will say that within certain days the product will be delivered. So whenever vendor is saying that within certain days, he is making sure that he is keeping some extra time and delivering it to you. Say for example, if you order something online, the vendor is saying it will take 5 days to reach your destination. But actually vendor knows that it can reach within 3 days. So on the third day he'll deliver it. Why he is doing it so? Because of the timely processing. Let me keep my customer happy in the market. So this such things are done. So efficiency and timely processing. So then comes pricing. In the online market, the discounts are given more. The reason is very simple, because they want to capture the mass market. Okay, they want to capture more and more market, so that people divert their mind to from traditional market to the digital platform. So this is the main intention why the pricing are being reduced in the online. And here, please understand, the labor cost is very much reduced for them. Okay, because they should hire one person who will deliver the product. Rest all takes care by logistic department. So the cost for them is less. So they're giving more discounts to the customer. Then CRM. Yes, of course, yes, they have built a very nice CRM with the customers. They keep updating about the movies in the Hotstar or else Netflix.com or else bookmyshow.com, giving the discount if you book tickets through credit cards. They give you discount. If you go to the nucleus mall to book in the big cinemas, you'll not get any discount. Whereas if you're making it to bookmyshow.com, you're getting huge discounts with your credit card systems. So this is something and value added of what do I say, a differentiation, what I say, when compared to the traditional market and the digital market. So digital market is going to boom the market in coming future, students. Most of the things will be on the digital platform in future. But again, I repeat, please remember the traditional market remains same. Only we are going to use the platform, which I call it as digital platform. So that's the difference what we are going to see at present and even in the future. Okay. So these are the strategies built in the differentiation. So any questions in the differentiation, please let me know. Or else segmentation, targeting, positioning, any questions, any ambiguity, please let me know, students, before I move to data analytics. Data analytics. Any questions? Please let me know. No questions? Shall we move to data analytics?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Data analytics, it's a very big term, students. When we talk about data analytics, to put it in very simple terms, okay, data analytics is playing with the raw data. Okay, playing with the raw data, we call it as data analytics. I come from this field, so this will be right and easy for me to explain you what is this data analytics all about. Okay, so when I say this data analytics, analyzing the raw data to arrive at the conclusion. Okay, we arrive at the conclusion. When I say arrive at the conclusion, we do an hypothesis, we do a prediction of the future. Okay, this is what we do in analytics. Okay, or rough data is given to us, we make it in a very refined form and tell it to the company saying that this is what is going to happen with your product in future. Okay, now let me give you one example how it works. The other day someone had asked me, Vishal, I don't remember, someone had asked me, I was telling you the L3M, lag 3 data, okay, last 3 months data. We call it as L3M in the analytics term. Okay, now say for example, I'm in the month of Jan, okay, I'm in the month of March. I'm doing the data analytics for my product. Say for example, it could be a ketchup, Kisan ketchup. Okay, I'm just checking the market share of Kisan ketchup. Now what happens? I am going to refer my sales data for the month of Jan and Feb. Okay, because I'm working in the month of March. So I can't work immediately on the month of March. So what I do is I'm going to check for the data of Jan and Feb. On the basis of that, I am going to predict what will be my sales in the month of March and April. I'm going to predict it because I got to know that in the month of Jan and Feb, the sales were high. So as an analyst, I am going to predict the future saying that this is what is going to happen in the future. But in case, if say for example, if I'm working on Kisan ketchup, okay, we were happily doing Kisan ketchup and selling it in the market. The sales volume and value was really great in the market. But at the same time, if Nestle introduces Pichku in the market, okay, if Nestle is introducing Pichku in the market in the month of Jan end, okay, Jan and Feb beginning, okay, then my March analytics would be a bit different. I would say Kisan is going to lose the market a bit because Pichku has come into the market. So this is how an analytics works, okay? Because we are going to check our competitor products, what are they doing in the market. When Nestle introduces Pichku in the market, I need to understand a big chain is launching a new product in the market, which has built a very nice trust in the market by the brand name Maggie. So that would be very difficult for me to capture the market in future. So I'm going to predict the future saying that my sales are going to decline in the month of March because of Pichku has come in the market. So this is what an analyst work is all about. Okay, he's going to predict the future. But in the same way, when Patanjali comes into the market, I'm going to say that for certain days, my market is going to shake off. Okay, now Pichku came in the market, that doesn't mean Kisan market will completely fall down. No, absolutely no. What has Pichku done? They have come up with a very small tetra pack in the market, the packet what we say. Okay. Now what I'll be doing is, as a marketer, okay, I'll be introducing something called as Chotu in the market. Okay, making sense, students? We as analysts, we give a plan to the company saying that instead of, if Nestle is ready to launch Pisco in the market, I'm going to I'm going to launch what we say Chotu in the market at the same price, the quantity, everything, but my brand remains same, which is Kisan. So this is how an analyst will predict the future. I might have told you while teaching marketing, if fog DO came in the market with a liquid in the market, we as an analyst, we analyze that what is my competitor giving? Liquid, is it? Even I'll introduce liquid in the market. That is what an analyst does. We check with the raw data and we are going to predict the future. Okay. Making sense, students? What is analytics all about? Okay. This diagram, what we see, not an important for your exam. Whatever I told now, if you write such similar example or similar concept in your paper, that would be more than enough. Or else, any of this video I'll be putting in YouTube. Okay, you can check that as well. Now, let me reframe this. Okay, analytics, data analytics is refining a raw data in a very well furnished data and predicting the future. We call it as data analytics, as simple as that. Okay, we are going to refine the data, the raw data, in a very furnished way by using many tools. It could be Excel, it could be Tableau, it could be Alteryx, Aztec, okay, it could be Citrix, okay, it could be Adobe, what we are going to use, R programming, Python, okay, SAS, okay, there are many programs which makes your life very simple and understand the data. So to put it in again in a very simple terms, refining a raw data in a very well furnished data, we call it as data analytics. Here we are going to predict the future, what is going to happen with our product. So here I've written data analytics can be much more than the point of bottleneck in the production. Okay. This is what we call it as data analytics. 3 marks question in your paper, students. What is data analytics? Okay, a very important question for the exam. What is data analytics? Any questions in this, please let me know. And once the offline starts, I'll be taking you through the work what me and my team used to do in my previous organization. I'll just show you how we used to work on this. And if someone is trying to make your career in data analytics, start working on Excel right now from today itself. Not with a mouse. Please start working with a keyboard. Okay, you got to be very quick in your keyboard with the shortcut keys. Okay, that is where you're going to make more and more. You're going to gain more and more knowledge with the, because that would be helpful for you to work on the tools provided by the companies. So if someone wants to make your career in data analytics, one of the nice field to work with students in data analytics. Okay. So is that clear? Any questions for me with regard to data analytics, the concept, or else you want to know something about the career in data analytics? Anything would be fine. Just let me know. Yeah, Omkar.
Sir, no any questions, sir, but I just want to add up something that we can call it as in short form ABCD. That is, A means artificial intelligence, B means blockchain, C means cloud computing, and D means data analytics. So with these four components, we can do our job in digital.
Yes, of course.
We can easily work on this digital field, sir.
Yes, of course, yes. Yeah, Omkar, you're right. Yes. You're right.
Good. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. You wanted to add something, Omkar? Go ahead, please.
So I want to know about blockchain, sir. Means how it will work. Blockchain.
Okay. In the module 4, I'll be covering that. Okay. A bit of advanced part you're asking. The backlinks we discussed the other day. Were you present when we discussed about the backlinks?
Sorry, sir. I don't know.
Must cover that. No worries. I'll be uploading the videos on YouTube. You can check that as well, okay?
Okay, sir.
No worries. And with regard to artificial intelligence and machine learning, is bit of advanced, which is not a part of the syllabus. But a touch upon of that once we'll discuss it. No worries. Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
But backlinks will completely discussed with your classmates the other day. If you missed the class, don't worry. The same will be uploaded on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else, students, with regard to data analytics? Any questions? 3 marks question, students, in your paper. What is data analytics? Yeah. That's a key point. Now there is something called as key terms and concepts, need, importance, factors, role. I put all this question in one. The reason is there is, if they are planning to twist your question in the paper, this is at the max they can twist this question. So everything remains same. Your concept, your need, importance, factors, role are one and the same. Okay, here there are mainly four factors what we talk about. Okay, so let's understand one by one. Gather hidden insights. Insights is the information, students. In the nice term, we call it as insights. Okay, the knowledge passing or is the information what we say. Gather hidden insights from the data gathered and analyzed with respect to the business requirement. Okay, analyzed work as per the requirement of the client. For Unilever, AC Nielsen works as a primary database collection. They collect the database as a primary source. Again, one of the best company to start your career in research is AC Nielsen. Then IMRB is one more company, where is one of the rich company when it comes to again what we say data collection or as analytics. Okay, what they do is they basically work on the hidden insights. When I say hidden insights, maybe Ravi sir will touch upon this when he's teaching you PRP calculations in IMC subject. Okay, I'll not speak much about that, but to be just to put a overview of that, I'm just telling you gather hidden insights when I say how the PRP calculation happens, who is my customer, why did you tune the channel, everything that data will be collected by the analyst. Okay, so the primary research will be done by AC Nielsen and the raw data will be provided to the secondary researcher. So I'll not speak more about that. Okay, then second is generic reports. The generate reports. Once we collect the raw data, we start preparing the reports. We start preparing the reports when I say we start analyzing the things and we prepare the report. Okay, we start telling the company saying that if you check this, this is what we are going to tell. Okay, my sales are going to increase, my sales are going to decrease, where I'm standing in the market, everything. So these things we are going to tell it to my boss or else to my company. What is happening in the market? Okay, are we if I'm talking about YTD year to date data, so I'm going to say in the end of the year, this is what we are going to stand. This is where we are going to stand. So this is something a very important part. So gather generate reports. We are going to prepare the reports and tell this is the future actions we are supposed to take with regard to the brand, with regard to the category, and with regard to the variance in the future. Okay. Then perform market analysis. Okay, we got to say that what is my strength and what is my weakness. Okay, we got to, as an analyst, we got to analyze the thing saying that this is basically my strength of my brand and this is my weakness of my brand. So we got to work on this. So that's a very important part as an analyst or as a marketer. We got to analyze the things, how to perform in the market. So that is one more point. This general thing, students. Then improve the business requirement. Okay. Analysis of the data allows improving the business and customer requirement and experiences. Okay, yeah, of course, yes. We as analysts or as you people in future as analysts, you got to think what is that improvement is required in my product or what is that I need to do with my product or the brand. Okay, if I don't update myself with the brand, then I'm going to lose the market. That is where an analyst plays a very important role. How to make an improvement? Okay, what is that requirement? So those things we need to understand. Okay, so these are the general points, students. One is gather hidden insights. The second is generate reports. Third is perform market analysis, and fourth is improve business requirement. These are the short things what we for a question in your paper. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to write. But to be very frank, what is very important question for the exam. So coming to this working with the data, there are three concepts you need to understand when starting a data project. One is data request should be think of questions you want to answer. Data operations need to be clean, and data may be documented and features, features. Okay. Then let me explain what I'm trying to do here. I'm not about this, but still, I just added this with my interest. I added this. I just want to tell you how this.
Sorry, your voice is breaking in between,
basically,
sir.
Okay, so yeah, this please sorry about that because yesterday I bought one more earphone for myself, so I don't know There is some network issue. I'm really sorry. Now is it fine? Hello,
Yes,
check
sir.
Rajit.
It's
Hello.
yes, sir.
ओके ओके मैं थोड़ा हिलता हूँ तो कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाता है सेल फोन हाथ में पकड़े बैठना पड़ रहा है
Okay,
मेरे को
sir.
ओके 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 जब भी ऐसा होता है प्लीज बता दीजिए मेरे को नाउ
Okay,
कमिंग
sir.
टू दिस
Sir, can you repeat it again,
वर्क
sir? Because of that
yes
we can't hear anything.
yes I'll do that with regard to working with data you're talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Working with data are not a part of your syllabus, but I have just added extra something in your handouts. The reason is very simple because I want my students to know how this data actually works. The analyst, how he works with the data, how he refines the data. So that's with the interest I have written this. Now coming to this, when I say working with the data, there are mainly three concepts. One is data request should be the list of the questions you want to answer, then often needs to be cleaned. Okay, then data may be undocumented feature. Now, whatever I've written, let me explain you. Here, what happens, students? I'll give you a live example of what we used to do in the company so that it will be very clear. Okay, I'm sitting in Bangalore at Deanlier office, and there is a company in Bangalore by name AC Nielsen. It's globally. Okay, to be very frank, AC Nielsen is a research company wherein they provide us the primary data with regard to TRP calculations, with regard to my IMC data, my advertisements data, or else with regard to my sales data. Globally, I'm talking about. Okay, and with regard to finance data and supply chain data as well. Okay, now how we work is in the month of Jan. Okay, Jan month. Let's take first quarter of the month. Okay, now, when we are working on the first month, okay, we call it as rollover changes. When I say rollover changes, students, please understand, every year in the month of December, Jan will be a new launches in the market. We go for launching a new launch in the launch of the products in the month of Jan. The reason is very simple, students, because of the punching of my product. Okay, we call it as rollover changes. Punching, when I say my manufacturing date. Okay, now say for example, whenever you go for buying a car, if I ask you to go for 2020 model, you'll not say no to it because you want a new punching, which we call it as 2021, the engine punching, what we say. The same way for the product, whatever changes we want to make, we make it in the month of Jan. We call it as roller changes. Whenever a new additions happens in the brand, okay, that doesn't mean that we can't do an addition in the mid of the year. Yes, we do so, but basically the rollover happens in the month of Jan. Okay, now whenever a new product comes into a market, we got to add that product or as a brand or as a variant with the existing product one. Okay, and we need to inform this research company as well. This is my brand which is going to be launched in this month. So they start working on that data as well. Now, taking an example, uh, okay, my last project was Induleka. Let me talk more about that. When Induleka, we had planned to take our Induleka. Okay, when the talks were happening in the market. Okay, that was an addition in the hair category. Okay, that was an addition in the hair category. Okay, so we had to add shampoo, we had to add conditioner, we had to add treatment. When I say treatment, we call it as your hair oil. In the analytics part, in the data analytic part, we call it as treatment. So that is something an addition in my hair category. Okay, in my personal category, under personal category, hair category is my subcategory. In that, oil is my something addition what I need to do. So one is my shampoo, one is my conditioner, and one is my treatment, which is Induleka. So please understand, when we took over this company, I have to add it in my database saying that Induleka belongs to Unilever. So next time, whenever AC Nielsen is giving me a data, it is going to check for my shampoo, it's going to check for my conditioner, and at the same time, it's going to check for my treatment. When I say treatment, hair oil. So what is my sales happening with regard to Induleka? I need to check. Okay, so that data will pick it in the month of March, and we start working for the data of Jan and Feb. We are going to predict the future of Induleka for the April, okay, and the previous data as well. When I say this, this is the raw data, students, what AC Nielsen gives us. So we as an analyst, we got to sit in the front of the system, understand what is my basis point of my particular brand, what is my sales value for this particular brand, and what is my sales volume for this particular brand, how much market I have covered, is it only Indian market I have covered, in India, what are the places I have covered, everything we not need to jot down. And the second part, if I'm working on the TRP calculations, I need to understand, though this brand is part of our brand now, Unilever brand, under the umbrella of Unilever, I need to understand, have we captured the market or not? Because it came to under Unilever, are people ready to accept my product or not? So everything we need to analyze, and we need to prepare a report and give it to our boss. Say for example, earlier I was reporting to Paul Polman or Sanjay Mehta. So I need to we are answerable to them, saying that this is what my brand is doing in the market. So this is something an analyst job is all about. So we are going to predict the future with the data what is given to us by AC Nielsen or IMRD. Now coming to this, we never depend on single data, students, because it's an hypothesis. Analytics is all about hypothesis. We never depend on single data. We take the data from AC Nielsen, but at the same time we take the data from IMRV as well. The reason is quite simple. We try to match, is there any difference between IMRB data and AC Nielsen data? Both of them work as a primary data source for us. We check, we go up to 11 decimal, students. When I said 11 decimals, for the granularity level of the data, okay, we check what the data provided by AC Nielsen and the data provided by IMRB, is it right or wrong? We check. Only then we go for preparing the report. Yeah, I'm telling it orally. Maybe once offline comes, just remind me. I'll be showing the projects what I worked on, the data what I have. I'll be just showing you how we used to work on this data. Okay. Because as of now in the call, it would be really, really difficult. But if you see over here, these are the works what we did. So this is the previous class I was telling you. So this is something a raw data what was available with us. Looks very, very cumbersome data, very confusing data what we do, what we work on. But later when we take the same data into Tableau with the help of Excel and the Tableau, we can easily predict what is happening with the product. See over here, if you check Jan, Feb, March, I'm going to check. Then over here, red, amber, green. Red is I'm going to lose the market. Then amber is it's a win-win situation. Green is I'm doing great in the market. So these are my expected sales for the year, for the third quarter. So I'm talking about July, August, September, and October. I'm just checking what is happening with my data. So here, if you see what are the deals we have taken, everything, then monthly one deals, so those things. And over here, if you check YTD dashboard, okay, YTD, when I say in the analytics, we call it as year to date, we call it as YTD. A bit of a bouncer and advanced one. Sorry for that, but I just wanted to give a rough idea about how the data analytics actually works. So hope this has helped. Again, I say not a part of your syllabus, just something extra I put in the handout. Okay. Is that fine, students? Yes, no? Just a rough idea at least.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Not an issue. Maybe someday I'll just take you through this. Now coming to this, okay, in what you got to remember is what is data analytics for 3 months and the features of that. That's more than enough for your exam point of view. Okay. Now coming to the setting objectives, goals and KPIs. Okay. Shall we start with setting objectives, goals and KPIs? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, setting objectives. Okay, each and every company has an objective, students. Some companies, they have an objective of making profit. Some companies have an objective of covering the global market. Okay, some companies have an objective of covering only the Indian market. Some companies have an objective of launching new products in every year. So these are the different objectives. Now, I give one example. Google wanted to be a number one search engine in the globe. So this was an aim or the objective of Google. And today, yes, they are. They are one of the best search engines in the globe. So this is something setting an objective in the digital platform. Okay. Now, even you have your own objectives of doing MBA, getting a good company to work with, or else with a good package, everything. The same way in the digital platform, many companies have their own objective. The best example was Google. They wanted to be a number one search engine in the globe. So that was their objective, what they've set. So objectives are important and should be short and sharp statement of what they are going to be achieved. So they should fix it very, very clearly. They simply can't say, I want to be a global leader within 1 year. No, it can't happen because you need to understand what all you have to go through in the market, those things. Who is your competitor? You've got to do a SWOT analysis, everything. Okay. The second is provide the exact steps for your business in the right to reach the goals right. Okay. So you got to work slowly on this. Okay. Yahoo did a blunder by not selling. Yahoo did a blunder by not selling themselves to Google. Then they had to incur losses, and then later they had to suffer a lot later when they incurred losses. So that was the wrong thing what Yahoo did in the market. Then include milestones of your track you progress. Okay, so you got to work on the track slowly so that you achieve your objectives. That's a general term, students. Then every company has a goal. Okay, goal should be fit with the object, vision, and mission. Okay, just again, you guys are more aware of this. You've done your projects, so you're very much aware of these goals. Objective, a 3 marks question in your paper. Goal, not that important, to be very honest. Now coming to this, something called as KPI, key performance indicator, we call it as KPI. In the previous sessions we have discussed more about this. Still, if there is any confusion with the KPI, please let me know. Anyone, if you are not understood what is KPI, if you are upset or if you are present and still there is a confusion, just let me know before I move to tracking and collecting the data. Yeah, any questions with regard to that, please let me know. Students, don't miss the class because whenever we start with a new session, Javed, yesterday you might have missed STP. We had a nice discussion with your classmates. Few of you had missed the class, so that would be really difficult to understand later. Yeah, I do understand you know about the traditional market, but when it comes to digital market, again, it would be a problem to understand the concepts. Okay, so don't miss the classes, students. Okay, shall we start with tracking and collecting data? Hello, check.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tracking and collecting data. The first is determine what information you want to collect. Okay, so when you say that you may decide to collect the data, which type of article are the more popular. Okay, so tracking and collecting the data, what information you want to collect. If you are doing any research, okay, you want to collect the data. So first thing you should know that what kind of data you want to collect, from which article you want to collect. Okay, what is your source for the collection? So everything you should check. Now let's understand with the help of example. You may decide to collect about which type of articles are the most popular on your website among the visitors are between age 18 to 34. You might also choose to gather information on an average age for all the customers who bought a product from your company within the last month. So this is something we are going to do a research. Let's continue with this example, quite an interesting one. If you are tracking a data of the sales of your product, so you need to understand what is that age of the customer who bought your product. Was it between 18 to 30 was your criteria, or is above 30? Let's take two examples, 18 to 30 and above 30. So you are going to track this data. Okay, the first is determine what information you want to collect. So in that, say for example, you are selling an USB drive to the customer. So you want to know at what age, between what age customers buy your product. So your criteria of 18 to 30 cutoff, and second is more than 30. Then set a time frame for data collection. You got to set a time frame. You are going to collect the data for 1 month, or as 1 quarter, or as 1 year. So you want to set the time for that. Then determine your data collection method. Suppose yes, you want to determine the data collection method, was it or those things you need to then collect the data. When you're collecting the data, it should be continuously. Okay, the updates, everything, whatever changes are happening in the market, you want to do it continuously on the daily basis or hourly basis. When it's a digital platform, you got to do it on hourly basis. The reason is very simple. Every hour, one or the other purchases happens globally or is within the region. So those things you need to collect the data. Once you collect the data, analyze the data and implement your findings. As I say, even in the project, we say the same thing. Okay. Once you collect the data, you got to analyze the data. You got to understand why my sales are up in this particular month and why my sales are declined in this particular month. So we always say in the research, your analysis and interpretation should match with your findings and solutions. Okay, that's the key point what you got to remember in the digital marketing as well. Analyze the data. Once you analyze the data, you get to know that in the month of Jan and Feb, my sales were high. Yes, I can predict the future saying that in the month of March and April, May, again my sales will shoot up. The reason is very simple because in the beginning of the year, yes, we are doing great in the market and there are no new competitors who have come in the market with a similar product. Just now I gave an example of Soto and Pisco. So we can predict the future saying that yes, of course, my future will be really, really great. So this future will be really, really great is your interpretation of what you're going to do. Right? So this is how your findings and suggestions will be given to the companies. Okay, so this is what we are trying to check in this. So, okay, advantages and challenges, students, just a general question. Improve quality of data, it removes duplicate information, of course, yes. Display relevant information, this is general part, students. You can read from, okay. Not a big deal in this. Then coming to this, the next part, tools in data analytics. Just now I was telling you, there are many tools in data analytics. This is not a part of your syllabus, students. Just with the interest I have written this, just have a glance at this. Okay, just remember one or two, that would be more than enough. Those who want to make your career in analytics, tools in data analytics like R programming, Python, then Tableau, QuickView, SAS, and Microsoft Excel is something what you can start from today itself. And Rapid is one, and Kime is one more than Open Requirement, and Apex is more. Apex these are one of the tools what is being used in data analytics. So this part you may not so this is where we understand that you need to just we'll revise it again for 5 minutes or so. So what all we covered in this? Okay. So if you check this, we covered data drive strategy. Okay, STS model, what we are talking about. So we took an example of your classmates and this how this STS model works, how the information is given on Facebook and Twitter. So we discussed about that. Then second, we discussed about big data, a bit of that. Then marketing knowledge management, yes, we discussed. Taking Johnson as an example, then primary data and secondary data. I didn't touch upon much on this because it's already covered in the research, just a rough idea what we had. Then monitoring social media, yes, of course, yes, we understood what is data mining. Then we understood the online communities, then open communities and closed communities, then social media interface, yes, we discussed. Technology-enabled approaches, client-side and server-side database, which I told you 3 marks question in your paper, which was quite clear. Then real space approaches, few of your classmates like Ranjit, Kasi, they tried to give a demo. Yeah, no, this is something we discussed about. Barcoding system, how the payment is made. Yeah, marketing database and data warehouse. Here your classmates try to give a demo about how to take a control of the system over a cloud. So that was something really nice, practical knowledge. The data analysis and distribution, we understood data mining, then customer profiling, then RFM analysis, recency, frequency, and monetary value was very much clear for people. We discussed, we had a nice discussion, and this is a very important question for 7 marks and RFM for 3 marks, which we discussed. Then we had something called as knowledge management metrics, ROI and TCO. So we had a very nice discussion on this. Consumer behavior, yes, of course, yes. We understood the characteristics, the steps involved in online behavior, segmentation, targeting, differentiation, positioning, which we covered yesterday, and differentiation, which is today. So, okay, this simple one. You may not draw this diagram just for your understanding. Then we discussed today data analytics. So those are the things what we had in discussion. So any questions with regard to second module, please let me know, students. We'll just discuss on that, or else we are done with unit. For you guys, it's unit 2. So it will be unit 2. So we are done with unit 2. Any questions, any ambiguity, just let me know. We can have a good discussion on this. Else we are done with unit 2. Tomorrow we'll start with unit 3. Whenever I get a class, we'll start with unit 3. Maybe tomorrow if I get a chance, then I'll start with unit 3. Okay, any questions with regard to this? Please let me know. Hello. Okay, just remove the recording. Those who attended late, just in the chat box, please type it as present, students. Explain ROI and TCO. Yes, of course, yes, I'll do that. Yeah. Balabai has a question. Explain ROI and TCO. You missed the class, I suppose. Okay. When we say ROI and TCO, okay, Let's understand this again. Okay, someone had missed the class. Balabai had missed the class. Okay, okay, fine. When we say this ROI and TCO, let's understand what happens in ROI and TCO. Okay, when we say there's ROI, the rate of interest. Okay, whenever a company is going to collect the data, okay, they are simply not collecting the data. What is the use of this data? The marketer need to understand. Okay, if I'm collecting the data, say for example, Balabai is buying something online. Okay, she is buying products online, everything. Okay, and we are going to sell the products to someone to Balabai. Okay, keeping everything in track. But we are spending huge amount on collecting this data, everything is happening. Okay, now what is the use of this? Okay, if I'm collecting this data at a very lower cost and investment, I'm recruiting people, everything I'm doing. Okay, now what is the benefit? The benefit is very simple. Okay, the marketer is going to get your database, which is of free of cost. Okay, now if you are going to buy the products from my platform, okay, you're giving the data free of cost to me and you're going to buy the products from me. That is where I'm going to make more and more profit from you as a database. You as a customer, you got the product from me. Now, there's something called as some other companies will also make use of my data, okay, which I can give it to my other vendors. Say, for example, as a Facebook, I can give this data to Amazon, I can give this data to OLX, I can give this data to Citibank. So this is something what we say ROI. What is the profit I'm going to get by collecting a customer database? That is what we call it as ROI. Then the second part is TCO, total cost of ownership. When I say total cost of ownership, how much amount we spend on a particular data. For your classmates, I was giving an example of SLA, service level agreement, what happens in the company. Okay, now say for example, if your project happens to be for 50 lakhs, okay, and you're getting paid just 50,000 every month, you might ask a question to your ops manager or the manager, the project SLA, service level agreement with the client is 50 lakhs and you're just giving me 50,000 per month. Is it really worth? Yes, of course, yes. The reason is the building expenses, the lighting, the computer, the carpet, the cleaning person, your manager, your associates, everyone mixed together, the cost will be reduced. It goes on cutting off. The same way, whenever we collect any data, the total cost of the ownership, what is that exact cost of the ownership we need to check over there. So that is what we call it as, or keeping all the expenses in mind, we need to work on those data. So that is something we call it as TTO, total cost of ownership. Balabai, did I answer your question? Hello,
Yes, sir.
check. Okay, great.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions, students? Yeah, that's okay. Any other questions?